Hello everyone, this is Jason. Imagine a heavy-duty truck that cuts 1,000 pounds of weight, reduces operating costs per mile by as much as 50%, turns almost like a Model Y, and can even move into place and charge itself. This is not science fiction. In a new 47-minute breakdown video hosted by Leno, Tesla executives revealed how the latest Tesla Semi could completely change the future of diesel trucking. Today we are going to break down the biggest updates and explain why this vehicle could reshape freight and logistics. Let us begin with the latest semi-data. Jay Leno's Garage recently released a full 47-minute feature that takes the redesigned Tesla Semi apart inside and out. Jay Leno became the first person outside Tesla to drive the new production-focused Semi. In the video, he was joined by Dan Priestley, who leads the Tesla Semi program, and by chief designer Franz von Holzhausen. The message was very clear. Tesla is not treating this like an experiment. The company says production is coming this year and the upgrades are far more serious than many people expected. Traditional Class 8 diesel trucks come with a long list of problems. They burn huge amounts of fuel, cost a fortune to maintain, create heavy noise, and force drivers to deal with vibration and exhaust every day. Tesla says it has now reworked the Semi from the ground up. The production version is about 1,000 pounds lighter than before. Dan Priestley said that in heavy trucking, every pound matters because less weight means lower cost and more payload. With the federal electric vehicle weight allowance, the 500-mile version can now match diesel trucks on payload in real-world operation. Tesla also rebuilt the vehicle architecture. The Semi now uses a 48-volt electrical system, making it the second mass-produced Tesla after Cybertruck to adopt this setup. Steering has moved from hydraulic assist to a fully electric assist system using an upgraded version of the Cybertruck actuator. Tesla says this gives the truck more precision and more power. The battery pack uses 4680 cells, and the pack is designed for a life of around 1 million miles, which is about 1.6 million kilometers. In simple terms, Tesla wants this truck to feel almost permanent compared with the oil changes and routine upkeep of diesel fleets. EX may be even more important than the hardware. Priestley said that in California, the Semi can reduce operating costs per mile by about 50% compared with diesel. Across the United States, the average savings are closer to 20%. These numbers include energy, fuel equivalent costs, and maintenance rather than just a theoretical simulation. Tesla says this comes from actual operating data. That is what gives the Semi story more weight. The company is no longer talking only about what might happen in the future. It is pointing to performance that fleet operators are already seeing. Tesla says several hundred Semis are already running with commercial customers, and the fleet has accumulated about 13.5 million miles in total. One truck alone is nearing 440,000 miles. Priestley also said the fleet is seeing about 95% normal operating uptime. When problems do happen, they are often fixed within 24 hours, and roughly half of those cases can be repaired within 1 hour. In the world of heavy trucking, that kind of turnaround sounds almost unreal. It suggests Tesla is thinking about the in-service model rather than only the truck itself. There will be two main versions. The long-range version is rated for 500 miles and the standard range version is rated for 325 miles. The shorter range truck uses a shorter wheelbase, and Tesla says its turning radius is surprisingly close to that of a Model Y. Jay Leno himself commented on how tight the truck could turn. Priestley later added on X that many drivers only turned the wheel about 3/4 of the way before thinking they had reached the limit, only to learn the truck could still turn more. In dense urban streets and loading areas, that kind of maneuverability could be a major advantage. Price is an important part of the story. Tesla expects the standard range Semi to start around $260,000 US, while the long-range version is expected around $290,000 US. That is far below the typical price of many zero-emission Class 8 trucks, which have averaged roughly $435,000. Charging is also aggressive. Tesla has previously said the Semi can use a mega charger delivering up to 1.2 megawatts. In about 30 minutes, the truck can recover roughly 300 miles of range, or around 60% of the battery. Then comes one of the most interesting ideas of all. Priestley said Tesla sees an opportunity to develop automated charging for the Semi. He described a conductive charging approach where the truck could simply drive over the charging point and connect automatically without the driver leaving the cab to plug in. This is not the same as inductive wireless charging. Conductive charging still involves physical contact, but it could be automated in a way that removes manual effort. That is different from the Cybercab concept, which relies on wireless charging through electromagnetic induction above a pad. For a truck as large as a Semi, even partial automation like this could create a major convenience benefit. So the summary is simple. The new Tesla Semi is lighter, stronger, cheaper to run, easier to maneuver, and designed with more automation in mind. From the 1,000-pound weight reduction to more than 13 million miles of fleet data, from the 48-volt architecture to technology shared with Cybertruck, Tesla is positioning the Semi as something much bigger than another electric truck. The company wants it to become a real challenge to the diesel trucking model and possibly a turning point for the logistics industry. Now let us move to the next big Tesla story. The second topic is the mysterious wooden crate spotted at Giga, Texas. Recently, a drone image from the site spread across social media showing a vehicle body wrapped tightly in blue plastic and placed inside a wooden shipping frame. The image immediately triggered speculation. Some people believed it was a Model YL shipped from China for testing, pushed back and argued that the rear section looked too tall to be a Model YL. At first, I also thought it might be the long-wheelbase Model Y, but after a closer look, I was less certain. Tesla does not appear to have another secret consumer vehicle in development, which makes the whole thing even more intriguing. Still, many online observers believe the wrapped body really is the long-wheelbase 6-seat Model YL that people have been waiting for. The idea is that it would feature a stretched body, more interior room, 2 captain-style seats in the second row, and easier access to the third row, making it much more practical for families. Some viewers think the proportions line up well with that theory. On the very same day, Tesla also officially launched the model in Thailand. The company posted on X with a simple message saying that Model YL brings together the space and performance people want in a single package for daily driving. That launch matters because the vehicle is already expanding beyond China. Australia, New Zealand, and now Thailand are all part of the picture. That suggests Tesla is moving faster than some people expected with its global rollout. Previously, Tesla had indicated that a long-wheelbase Model Y might not arrive in North America until late 2026. And some people even thought it might never come if the company focused too heavily on full self-driving and Robotaxi plans. But now a mysterious body appears at Giga, Texas, and the timing feels difficult to ignore. Since late last year, Tesla's full self-driving progress has now produced the kind of dramatic visible breakthrough many fans were hoping for. So maybe this is classic Musk strategy. Keep pushing Robotaxi on one side while also improving the best-selling family vehicle on the other side. Tesla may be trying to support both present cash flow and future autonomous ambitions at the same time. That brings us to another development. The Cybercab has now been seen testing on public roads in Oklahoma City, adding another clue about how far Tesla is expanding its validation program. On March 22nd and March 23rd, the Cybercab was reportedly spotted on Hefner Parkway. The footage showed a vehicle without side mirrors relying on cameras instead. If true, that means Tesla is extending testing beyond Austin and California into the central United States. Testing across multiple cities and road conditions is exactly how the company would strengthen the system over time. At the same time, Tesla is also hiring in Vienna, Virginia for an AI safety operator role. The job involves driving engineering vehicles for long periods while collecting dynamic audio and camera data to support training for full self-driving systems. According to the job description, only the development team can access the data, which means Tesla is treating it as highly sensitive. Applicants need to be careful. Strong drivers enabled to travel domestically and internationally. This reflects Tesla's usual pattern. Even if full self-driving faces short-term delays, the company keeps gathering data, keeps running road tests, and keeps preparing multiple product lines at once. The family-oriented Model YL may represent one leg of that strategy, while Cybercab and Robotaxi represent the other. One supports the business now, and the other aims at the long-term autonomous future. The third topic is a Tesla driver who was fined in Canada. The incident took place on the morning of March 17, 2026, at around 8:30 in the morning on eastbound Highway 1 in Coquitlam, British Columbia. It was raining and the road was slippery during peak traffic. A 37-year-old woman from Metro Vancouver was driving a new Tesla Model Y Juniper when officers from BC Highway Patrol reportedly saw her with her eyes closed and her arms crossed. Corporal Michael McLaughlin later said in a release that the driver appeared to have fallen asleep while driving. After being stopped, the driver said she had only zoned out and was still awake. She also said her hands were on the steering wheel, but according to police, the in-car video did not support her explanation. She was then issued 2 tickets. One was for driving without due care under Section 144, subsection 1, paragraph A of the British Columbia Motor Vehicle Act, carrying a fine of 368 Canadian dollars. The second was for speeding in violation of road signage under Section 146, subsection 3, carrying a fine of 138 Canadian dollars. Together, the penalties exceeded 500 Canadian dollars. Police used the case to remind drivers that while some electric vehicles may offer self-driving style features, Drivers in British Columbia must remain fully awake, alert, attentive, and in complete control at all times. That warning sounds reasonable, but the broader framing around the case created controversy. Drive Tesla Canada argued that Tesla Autopilot and full self-driving are both Level 2 driver assistance systems, which are legal in British Columbia as long as the driver remains engaged in supervising the vehicle. The outlet said the real legal restriction applies to higher-level fully autonomous systems, such as Level 3, Level 4, and Level 5, unless specifically authorized by the provincial government. According to that interpretation, the public discussion blurred the line between legal driver assistance and illegal autonomous operation. In other words, the real issue was not that Tesla technology itself was banned, but that this specific driver appeared to be using the vehicle irresponsibly in dangerous conditions. On a rainy highway during rush hour, closing your eyes and crossing your arms is reckless, no matter what system is active. The case may be embarrassing for Tesla supporters, but it also reinforces the company's consistent message that current full self-driving is still a Level 2 system and still requires constant human supervision. Elon Musk has never said that today's cars can safely let people sleep behind the wheel. His long-term Robotaxi vision is supposed to eliminate that kind of human error in the future, not justify careless behavior today. So even though this was a negative headline, it also serves as a reminder that during this transition period between traditional driving and true autonomy, the more advanced the technology becomes, the more disciplined drivers still need to show behind the wheel. Rules have not caught up fully yet, and that makes responsible behavior even more important. Finally, let us end with one of Musk's more philosophical comments. He said that a world of abundance could mean a future where anyone can travel to Saturn for free. He asked people to imagine being able to buy a ticket to Saturn, or better yet, not even having to buy one at all. Musk believes many things in the future could become effectively free. It sounds wild, but his argument is that an economy powered by artificial intelligence and robotics could become vastly larger than the current economy of Earth, perhaps by something close to 1,000,000 times. In that world, almost any material need could be met. If that ever happened, then experiences that sound impossible, like people traveling to Saturn, would no longer belong only to a tiny elite. It is a grand and romantic vision of the future. Whether it becomes real is another question entirely. But it does capture the scale of Musk's ambition and the way he tends to connect transportation, energy, artificial intelligence, and civilization itself into one giant story. Let me know what you think. Could this kind of future ever truly happen? Thank you for spending your valuable time with me today. If you want more updates and deeper coverage on these topics, please like, subscribe, and join me again soon.